8 months pregnant, she slept on a hospital floor to care for her husband's dying mother. But while she suffered there in silence, her husband was out buying a present for her best friend. And before dawn, one message would expose a secret so shameful the whole family would never recover. The pain came when her phone lit up at 2:13 a.m. A picture. Her husband, Tunde, smiling like a man with no trouble in this world, holding a gift bag with gold ribbon, standing beside her own best friend, Anita. And the caption said, "A woman must celebrate those who matter." Kemi stared at that screen until her eyes burned. Her child kicked inside her, as if even the baby knew something terrible had just entered the room. Because while she lay on towel floor like a discarded mat, taking care of Tunde's mother sick, her husband was outside giving presents to another woman. That was how this trouble began. In Lagos, people can hide many sins behind perfume, fine shirts, and smooth English. But no matter how modern a city becomes, shame still travels faster than traffic. In their church, in their compound, in their families, there were things a married man was not supposed to do, and there were lines a best friend was not supposed to cross. Kemi knew those lines. She had respected them all her life. She was the kind of wife elders praised, soft-spoken, hardworking, never rude, never proud. When Tunde's mother fell sick and was admitted for weeks, it was Kemi that left her small online fabric business and stayed in the hospital. She cleaned the old woman, fed her, changed bed sheets, argued with pharmacists, slept little, ate once a day. Her ankles were swollen, her back was on fire, but she stayed. And Tunde always had excuses. Work meeting, client dinner, traffic, network problem, transfer failed, battery dead. But gifts for Anita, that one somehow had strength. At first, Kemi told herself maybe there was explanation. Maybe it was office matter. Maybe it was innocent. Maybe this city had not yet swallowed her marriage whole. Then another message entered. It was from an unknown number. Ask him where he was between 8 and 11 tonight. Ask your friend why she changed into red before meeting him. Kemi sat up slowly. Her heart began to beat so hard she thought the nurse would hear it. She looked up at her mother-in-law, Mama Tunde, sleeping with oxygen tube in her nose. The old woman had always been sharp-tongued, but one thing she had never hidden was this: she loved her son blindly. To her, Tunde could do no wrong. So Kemi swallowed her pain and kept quiet for that night. Morning came with the smell of disinfectant and boiling tea from plastic flasks. Kemi washed her face in the public restroom, tied her scarf well, and called Tunde. He picked on the 4th ring. "My wife," he said lightly. "How is Mama?" Kemi did not answer that first. "Where were you last night?" Silence. Then he laughed, a small laugh, the laugh of a man buying time. "At work now, Kemi. Must we start this?" I saw the picture. Another silence, heavy this time. "Anita had a birthday thing. I stopped by. It was nothing." Kemi pressed the phone hard to her ear. "Nothing? I am in the hospital, pregnant, on the floor. Your mother is here and you are buying gold ribbon gifts? You are overreacting." Those words, sometimes it is not the slap that breaks a woman. It is the insult that follows sacrifice. Kemi said quietly, "Do not make me look stupid." Tunde's voice changed, cold now, annoyed. "Then don't behave stupid. Anita is your friend. Must every small thing become drama?" He hung up. Kemi sat there like somebody whose chest had been opened with a blunt knife. And from the bed, a weak voice came. What did Tunde do? It was Mama Tunde. Kemi turned quickly. "Nothing, Mama. You should rest." But old women did not become old by sleeping through trouble. Mama Tunde watched her daughter-in-law's face for a long time. Then she turned away and said, "A woman who keeps fire in her chest will one day burn her own tongue." Kemi said nothing. Yet the fire only grew. By afternoon, gossip had already started its dirty work. One cousin called to check on Mama, then carefully slipped in, "I heard Anita had a nice surprise yesterday, oh." Another friend sent laughing emojis under the picture before deleting them. Another friend messaged, Please, don't be angry, but people are talking. People are talking. In our world, those 4 words can destroy a home faster than flood water. By evening, Kemi's face had become the face of a woman everyone pitied, but no one wanted to be. The wife who was suffering in public while another woman was glowing in private. Still, she kept quiet. Not because she was weak, because she was watching. On the 3rd night, the unknown number sent another message. He is not only visiting her. Check the flat in Lekki, flat 3B. Use the name Dele Akin. Kemi read it 3 times. Flat? Fake name? Whoever was sending these messages knew too much. Her first instinct was fear. Her second was shame. But the third, that one was stronger than both. The third was truth. The next morning, Mama Tunde's condition stabilized a little. The doctor said she might be discharged in 2 days if things remained steady. Kemi called her younger cousin, Shade, the only person she still trusted, and begged her to come sit at the hospital for 2 hours. Then Kemi wrapped her belly, entered a taxi, and went to Lekki. Every bump in the road stabbed her waist. Sweat gathered under her blouse. Her child shifted heavily. Twice, the driver asked if she was okay. Twice, she said yes. But she was not okay. She was a wife driving towards the place where her marriage might be buried. The flat was real. Flat 3B. The security man first refused to speak until Kemi quietly sent him 5,000 naira. Then his mouth loosened. Yes, madam, he said. A man uses it sometimes. Comes with one fair lady. Not wife, I think. They laugh too much. Kemi felt the wall tilt. What name? The man checked his notebook. Dele Akin. Her legs nearly failed. It was true. Every lie, every delay, every missing money, every late night call taken outside, every time Anita defended him by saying, men are just stressed. The 2 snakes had been smiling in her face together. Kemi did not knock. She did not scream. She did not collapse. She stood there, one hand under her belly, breathing like somebody gathering herself before war. Then she took out her phone and recorded the door, the flat number, the security man's book, and his face as he repeated everything. That was when the major truth arrived from a place she never expected. As she turned to leave, her phone rang. It was Mama Tunde. Her voice was weak but urgent. Come back to the hospital now and bring Tunde if you can. Kemi rushed back, confused and shaking. When she entered the ward, she met not only Mama Tunde, but also an older woman in Iro and Buba sitting by the bed. Her face looked familiar. It was Anita's mother. The air in that room was strange, thick, like rain was about to fall indoors. Mama Tunde looked at Kemi, then at Anita's mother, then closed her eyes for a moment. There is a secret, she said, and it has destroyed enough. Kemi's throat tightened. Anita's mother began to cry before speaking. Forgive me. I should have spoken years ago. Kemi stood frozen. Then the woman said the words that turned every bone in that room to cold water. Anita is not your friend by chance. She is Tunde's father's child. Silence. Even the oxygen machine seemed to pause. Kemi blinked. What? Mama Tunde's lips trembled. Before I married my husband, he had outside children. One of them was Anita. We knew. We buried it. Her mother and I agreed never to expose it. There was too much shame, too much damage already. Kemi stepped back until the wall caught her. No. 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 It meant Anita and Tunde were half-siblings. It meant what they were doing was not only betrayal, it was abomination. Northern city or not, some sins still wake the ancestors. Tears began to pour down Anita's mother's face as she said, I warned her to stay away from him when she got close to your family. She refused. She said blood that was hidden does not exist. Mama Tunde began to cough. My husband ruined many lives. Now his secret has entered my son like poison. Kemi could barely breathe. For a moment she thought she might faint right there beside the hospital bed. The child inside her pushed hard and she held her stomach. All this time she had been feeding the mother of a man who was sleeping with his own father's hidden child. Even in a city full of darkness, some truths still know how to shock the sun. That evening, Tunde arrived at the hospital, irritated, unaware that the ground beneath him had already opened. "What is all this emergency?" he asked, walking in with his phone in hand. "Kemi, why are you making everyone?" Then he saw Anita's mother. Then he saw his own mother's face. Then he stopped. Some people know when judgment has reached the door. Mama Tunde looked at her son with a kind of sorrow that was heavier than anger. "Did you touch that girl?" Tunde frowned. "What girl?" "Do not let me die with more lies in my ears," she snapped. For a second, Tunde tried to act confused. Then Anita herself entered the ward. Nobody had called her, but guilt always follows noise. She walked in with sunglasses on her head and pride still left in her shoulders. But the moment she saw everybody, that pride began to break. Anita's mother stood up and said, "Tell them." Anita swallowed. Tunde looked at her, she looked at him, and just like that, the two shameless lovers who had hidden behind style and secrets were standing naked before the truth. Anita spoke first, quietly. "We didn't know at first." Kemi shut her eyes. "At first?" Meaning later they knew. Mama Tunde asked the question with shaking lips. "And when you found out?" Neither answered. That was answer enough. The room exploded. Anita's mother slapped her daughter so hard her earring flew off. Mama Tunde broke down in tears and began to curse the dead man who planted this disgrace. Nurses rushed in, cousins gathered, one person told another, another told three more. Within 1 hour, the matter had left the ward. By night, both families knew. By morning, the church knew. By afternoon, the compound knew. And in Lagos, when a scandal like that escapes into the streets, it does not walk, it runs. But the biggest blow had not yet fallen. Because as all this chaos swallowed the families, Kemi went into labor. Too early, too suddenly, too violently. The stress, the doctor said, the pressure, the shock. As they wheeled her into the delivery room, Kemi looked once at Tunde. He was crying now, truly crying, the way men cry when consequences finally remove their pride. He tried to follow her, but she said one sentence that froze him in place. "Do not bring your cursed hands near this child." For 12 long hours she labored between pain and memory. The hospital ceiling spun above her. Voices came and went. Her mother prayed. Sade cried. Somewhere outside, Tunde begged to see her. She refused. When the baby finally came, a girl, small but breathing, Kemi wept from a place deeper than relief. She held that child and felt two things at once, terrible grief and fierce new strength. A woman can survive betrayal, but once she becomes a mother, survivor can sharpen into a decision. 2 days later, Mama Tunde called Kemi privately. The old woman looked thinner, humbler, as if this scandal had drained years from her face. She held Kemi's hand with both of hers. "I failed you," she said. "I raised a man and did not know the rot in him. I protected too many secrets in this family. Now the secrets have eaten the house." Kemi said nothing. Then Mama Tunde did what nobody expected. She called her lawyer right there from the hospital bed. In the presence of witnesses, she changed her will. The house in Surelere, the land in Ibadan, and her savings meant for Tunde's business expansion, she transferred them into trust for Kemi's daughter. Not Tunde, not any future wife, not any side plan, the granddaughter. She looked at her son and said, "A man who cannot honor a wife carrying his child should not inherit the sweat of decent people." Tunde fell to his knees. "Mama!" But the old woman was done. And karma, when it chooses to speak, does not stammer. The scandal destroyed Tunde piece by piece. His office found out after clients began whispering. The promotion he had been chasing disappeared. Anita, unable to bear the public shame, left the city for Port Harcourt to stay with an aunt. Friends who once enjoyed their secret outings stopped answering their calls. Church leaders suspended Tunde from service. Even the men who cheated in darkness did not want to be seen defending a man whose sin had crossed into taboo. His name became something people lowered their voice to say. Anita's own punishment was no lighter. The same beauty she used to enter rooms became the face people used to remember disgrace. Invitations stopped. Business deals dried up. Men avoided her not out of morality, but fear of contamination by rumor. She wanted another woman's seat. In the end, she lost even her own. And Kemi? At first, people pitied her. Then they respected her. Because she did not scatter herself in the market of revenge. She did not fight in the street. She did not trade insults online. She did not poison her own spirit trying to destroy those already fallen. She simply walked out with her child and her dignity. She rented a small place near Yaba with help from her cousin. She reopened her fabric business online from her phone at breastfeeding odd hours. Women who heard her story began to buy from her, then to support her, then to recommend her. Her page grew, orders increased. One customer connected her to a boutique chain, another paid for bulk supply. Little by little, the woman who had slept on hospital floor rose onto her feet. As for Tunde, he came many times, with flowers, with tears, with prayers, with long messages full of regret. Kemi listened only once. Only once. He sat across her in her new living room, looking smaller than the man she married. "I was foolish," she said. "I was blind. Please, I have lost everything." Kemi adjusted the baby on her lap and looked at him calmly. There was no fire left now, only truth. "No," she said. "You lost everything the day you looked at loyalty and called it foolishness." He cried. She did not. Then she told him he could support his daughter, but he would never again share her bed. And that was the end of that marriage, even before the papers made it official. Months later, Mama Tunde died quietly in her sleep after naming the baby during a small family prayer. She called her Ifedolakbo. Love has turned to wealth. Some people wept at the name because they understood. Out of betrayal came inheritance. Out of shame came protection. Out of hidden sin came one child whose future could not be stolen. And Anita, years later, people still used her story to warn daughters who enjoyed stepping into another woman's home through the back door. Not because she fell in love where she should not have, but because when truth stood before her, she still chose sin. That is the part people never forget. As for Kemi, whenever she passed that old hospital on her way to deliver fabrics to clients, she touched her daughter's head and remembered the floor she once slept on. The same floor where her heart was broken, the same floor where heaven first exposed what darkness was doing. Some bites still hurt. Healing does not always come singing. But every time her daughter laughed inside the house that was once meant for a faithless man, Kemi saw what justice looks like when it takes its time. Because life has a way of returning people to the place they thought they had escaped. And in the end, the woman they treated like nothing became the mother of the name that inherited everything. Never mock the one who suffers quietly, because the tears you ignore today may become the judgment that answers you tomorrow. If this story touched you, tell me in the comments. Should Kemi have forgiven Tunde, or did she do the right thing by walking away? And if you believe karma never forgets an address, type "Justice Found Them" below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications bell. Till next time, stay blessed. Bye-bye.